Hi Gyan, Gautam this side. So the purpose of this video is just to provide you updates that I have spent my time on the code. So as we discussed last time, I showed you my code and it wasn't ready at that time because it wasn't working right. So I spent my time on making it work. So I implemented the algorithm. So this is my current code. So this is the classification code which I have written. So essentially I will just do a live demonstration for you so that you can so that it's just like to show you that I have done my work. I have spent time on this project. So what I'll do is, so right now as you can see, this is the file that you gave to me, right? So this is the file which generates the CSV file. So what I'll do is I'll just do the live demonstration for the code, how my code is able to identify fishes or not. So let's say this is the code. It's running. It's your code is running, right? So I'll pause it over here and I will collect the RGB data for this fish, right? So let's say the species 173 for this file, CSV file has been generated, right? So what we will do now is we will go to the folder. We will go to the folder where this file has been generated. So you can see here, this is the file which has been generated, right? So what I'll do now is I'll just rename this. So let's say I will write it as fish 1 2 3 4 5. So just for my reference that I know this is the file. So this is the file over here, right? So what I'll do now is I'll just copy this file here and I'll put this thing in my code. So this is the file which I have generated. So here is the file. So let's say I put it in the fish classifier. So here is my data set. So in the data set, this is the training data set and this is the testing data set. So in the training data sets, like, you know, I have created just 2 folders. So it contains like 15 files. So it's pretty much these are the files which are creating the initial clusters. So and then this is the testing this is the testing folder where the actual prediction happens. So let's say I pasted my file over here. So you can see, like, you know, my file is pasted over here and this is in the testing folder, right? So now we can jump to my code, right? So I'm into my classification folder now, as you can see over here as well. So this is my folder and this is like so if you go over here in the testing thing, you can see there is a file called fish 1 2 3 4 5, right? So what I'll do now is I'll just go down over here. I'll go down here and I need to change the file name, right? So this is where we need to make the changes. So this is essentially in what happens over here is this is the one where we are taking the new data point onto the graph, and then we pretty much map the distance. Is it how much closer is it from 2 clusters? And if it's closer to the fish cluster, then it says fish is there. If it says like it's been far from the fish cluster, then it will say no fish. Pretty much it will print it out on the console, right? So now I'll just pretty much write the same name here. So we can see fish 1 2 3 4 5. So I'll do 1 2 3 4 5. So you can say like this is here, and here I'll just do the Control S. So the code saves. So as you can see, now the code has been saved. Now I'll just run this code, my code. So now my code is running and it should present. So this is here you can see it says fish detected. It's because, you know, like it has collected the RGB data of those 15 values, and after collecting those 15 values, it pretty much created 2 clusters. And then when the new data point is added, it's checking the distance from those clusters, like if how much closer is it lying from those other points, right? And in this way, like let's say, you know, like now at the end, it just measures the distance, and if the distance is closer to one cluster, it will write fish detected or fish not detected. I can even like I'll just cancel this thing now. So the way I have named this file is like, you know, like in the file which I have saying like no fish, it pretty much means that there is no fish available in that data. So now we will change this one to no fish, just to give you description that it works for no fish as well. Let's say I write no fish, and now I'll run this program again. So let's say if I run this program again, it's gonna take the average, and you can see over here it says like no fish detected. So this is essentially how I have solved this problem for the classification algorithm. I hope you liked my progress, and I'm working on it. So now like I just need guidance of like what should be my next step, like how I can improve this, because essentially what happens is, like, I have seen other people, they have used like HSV, they have converted the RGB into HSV, or maybe yeah, I just need a little bit guidance on that, and then maybe I can work on the implementation of that thing in this week and in my holidays, and then and then I'll start writing my report and documenting everything, like how did I approach to this problem and how I solved this problem. And thank you.